says waiting on my end.
Oh, there might be another thing you have to hit. Hold on.
Okay.
After you hit go live, you have to hit something again. It should say you hit go live, and then I think you go to, it brings you to another page, and you have to hit it again, I think. Because I did that once. We started talking, and like 5 minutes in, I realized that I even though I hit go live, nothing, there might be another thing for you to click. Okay, now we're live, and we're live on StreamYard.
Okay.
And and here it is on YouTube. Okay, I see it here now. Okay, welcome everyone. Actually, you say welcome everyone. It's your channel, Daniel Heron. Everyone.
Hello, everybody. First live stream rewatch tonight, Raiders of the Lost Ark with special guest Age Boomer. No one's here, so we're just going to hang out for a couple seconds and see who shows up.
Make a couple.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna do another post on with the Professor Geek group, and also gonna do one on Twitter. Okay. So if no one we'll see if anybody shows up. But all right, we'll wait a few minutes. All right. Okay. Okay.
For anybody coming in later or watching this sometime in the distant future, basically we're just going to rewatch the film, discuss the music as it is in the film and the original soundtrack, and have a good time with Indiana Jones and John Williams tonight. So I hope you come along for the ride and enjoy it as much as we do. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Thank you, H Boomer, for showing up for this.
Oh, glad to be here. Okay. Rewatch and soundtrack analysis, you think? Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds good. All right. And I will post this to Facebook. Okay. All right. And I'll do another one for Twitter as well. All right. Are you on Twitter at all, Daniel?
I stay away from Twitter. It seems kind of toxic.
Okay. It can be, yeah. I'm careful. I mainly do it just to keep up with certain people, but I tend not to do too many postings stuff for my own stuff. Okay, for this one, I'll just keep "and we are live." Join us. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna tweet that out. So, how old were you when you first saw Raiders of the Lost Ark, or as they call it now, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I saw it on video cassette, so probably 3rd or 4th grade.
3rd or 4th grade.
I didn't see it in the theater because my mother said it was scary. So she didn't take me.
I
did see Temple of Doom in the theater. It was probably a bit more adult than Raiders of the Lost Ark, though.
Oh man, I love Temple of Doom too. I think that might be my favorite of the trilogy, though I tend to go back and forth on which ones are my favorite. For a while it was Raiders, and then I think I went to Last Crusade, and then I went over to Temple of Doom. So I jumped back. I guess that just means that I must love them all, though, right? If I jump back and forth between which one's my favorite.
I think my favorite is the one I'm watching at this moment in time.
Okay. Raiders is a lot of people's favorite. Okay.
I think so. I think it is. I think it has the benefit of being the first. That's why.
I think I was 4. I might have been 4 or 5 years old, and my dad rented it from a mom and pop video. He might have seen it in the theaters too, but I didn't. And we watched it, and we get to the Ark scene at the end where everyone's face is melting off, and I freaked out, and I closed my eyes and wouldn't watch the rest of it. And it was a couple years before I would watch the movie the whole way through. Like, even when I got into Indiana Jones toys, I would watch up until that part and stop the video. You know, it's like,
that never bothered me. I didn't mind the melting faces. I don't care for snakes. I don't like spiders. Other than that, I don't really have any issues. It doesn't. Ghostbusters scared me with the dog in the refrigerator. Oh man.
Yeah, that was another one that freaked me out when I was a kid. The ghosts in the library at the beginning freaked me out when I was a kid too, and that was another one where I was like, I was a little chicken, so I, it's weird. I got into horror movies later in life because I was such a little chicken when I was a kid, but it's interesting though. This was a PG movie, and this is before the PG-13 rating had come about. I don't know if Temple of Doom was the first PG-13 or if that was what
it
helped
was
bring it
not,
about.
but it did. That and Gremlins sort of created the PG-13 rating because the MPA got together and we were like, hey, look, y'all are like showing some scary stuff, and Steven Spielberg came up with the PG-13 rating to prevent them from doing something.
Yeah, it was interesting. The film critic Roger Ebert was in favor of it in the beginning, but then he I think later on he kind of relented because he thought that it stuck movies in this weird in between place where some of the more salacious stuff doesn't get saved for the R-rated movies, but then it was I think he regretted it later on. He said it was a mistake, but in the beginning he supported it. All right.
I think if you look back on it, movies that were R in like early 80s, it's like network TV now. So I wonder what 20 years is going to bring.
I don't know. That's a good question. It's weird because because that's what's weird because like the network TV stuff did get worse. I remember watching an episode of Millennium on Fox at 9:00, and the episode opens with some guy's severed tongue on a plate or something. It's like, of course, I don't know. That was the 90s, so I don't know if maybe things got a little less severe. But all right, so are you queued up with the movie?
I can be.
Okay, well, you want to get that set up, and we'll see if anybody else joins the chat. Like, cause I don't know how many people this is your first stream, so I don't know if we'll be expecting too much. But like I said, we'll see. Hopefully, it will get more traction as the night goes on. People can just drop in. Okay. Let's see. So, what copy do you have on DVD, or is it a digital copy you have?
I've got Netflix for a couple more days, so it's on Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix. There you go. Did you hear the controversy over Back to the Future like a month ago?
Oh God, I'm scared. What happened?
Oh, do you remember the scene with with the Ooh La La book?
Yes.
And apparently they cut out like a portion of the cover when Marty's looking at it, and everybody freaked out. But then it turns out what it was it's not that Netflix censored it; it's that Universal gave them the wrong copy that was, I guess, available in some other country where they cut that part out. But everyone thought Netflix censored the movie, and they were, when it was, everyone was freaking out.
Why don't they censor some cuties?
Well, yeah, like I said, Netflix didn't censor. Yeah, that's a whole nother ball of wax. Oh, and as we all know, YouTube has a thing against a certain group that are the villains in this movie about using their name. So I don't know if we'll be able to avoid saying it during the stream, but I figured I'd give you a heads up. I don't know.
Let me go through my notes.
The Germans. We'll just call them the Germans.
Germans.
Okay.
Germans. Okay.
Even though I think the other term is more respectful because they're the villains, and it's never mind.
Because
just
not all Germans
were in support of that, and yes,
are spastic.
Yes,
not all Germans are spastic.
Like I said, nothing may happen to us for even saying the word out loud, but I just don't know. I'm new at the YouTube thing too. I've been at it about a month, so.
Yeah, I had forgotten that, but thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, nothing may have occurred, but I don't know. You know how the stupidity of YouTube. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Actually,
so much of it's automatic.
Actually, we love YouTube. What?
I hear so much of it's automatic. It just clicks it.
Yeah. So I don't know. So. We'll call them the Germans. That sounds worse though for me because it's like
in college I dated a girl. Her dad was Dutch and her mom was German.
Right.
And I made the mistake of calling her German one time. Ooh, no. She corrected me. Never made that mistake again. She's Dutch.
She's Dutch.
She's Dutch, not German.
Okay. Well,
but she told me that when she was in school back in the Netherlands, she would get teased for being half German. They did not like the Germans.
Yeah, I hear there's a lot of that over there, like about like I think that happens in Switzerland too. Like if you're
Oh
having
yeah,
something, yeah.
yeah. It's.
I don't get it because we're all kind of mutts here in the United States. So
I mean, imagine if you tease people from like Kentucky. Well,
yeah.
I guess we kind of do in Alabama, but
Oh, I have
uh,
a friend that calls it Kentucky, but yeah, which I think is a little harsh. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever been to Kentucky though. I don't know.
it's a pretty state. It's a very pretty
Yeah,
state.
yeah. Okay. So, oh, well, you want to go ahead and start? You want to do
Yeah,
a
I'm
countdown even though
ready.
no one's here? Okay.
If you are.
Okay. For people watching this on the rewatch, if you ever want to queue up your DVD or movie, we'll be starting on. I'll do a 5 count. How's that sound? All right.
Cool.
You all queued up? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You got the Paramount Pictures logo?
Yeah, just popping on.
Yep. Then it'll fade into a mountain.
I thought
Like
that was so cool when I was a kid, how it just did that.
he's done that for all 3 films. In Temple of Doom, you had the mountain on the gong, and then Last Crusade, you had the mountain out in the desert.
Yeah, yeah, and then they also did the I think it was the Gopher Hole and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Of
So
course not. I'll say this for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's not a great movie, but it doesn't ruin the character, at least as far as I'm concerned. It's not like a Last Jedi situation. I mean, Indy is still Indy in that. Oh, Sound Engraver's here. Thank you for tuning in, Sound Engraver.
hello, welcome.
Oh, she's the expert sound analyzer. I'm sure she's studied this score before. So, what is the name of this track?
This was not on the original LP. This was on the second release. I think it was Trek Through the Jungle, and the second release that came out in '95.
Yeah, I mean, this is creepy.
But if you have the original one, it's not on here.
Hey, cool. Yeah, I that's the one I had growing up original, but I'll go into more of that during the break.
And one thing interesting about it is if you watch Superman or you watch Star Wars, you've got the main theme, and it's just boom right there from the get-go. You got it. Here, you don't hear the Raiders March until about 15 minutes into the film.
Oh yeah.
Right now, if this was the first time watching this and you know nothing, it's like, wow, it's these guys in the jungle and this music's kind of creepy. Like, I wonder what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even see. Oh, go ahead. We don't even see the face of the main character.
Yeah, we don't. And here you're going to set up. Okay, he's picking a little dart out of a tree. These 2 guys run over, and they're like, "Oh, the poison is still fresh, 3 days." And the other guy's like, "Oh, the Bovitos are going to kill us." And the other guy's like, "No, if they knew we were here, we'd already be dead." So you've set up a threat that you haven't seen that will come in here in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a young Alfred Molina there, by the way.
Dr. Octopus himself.
Dr. Octopus is there. Yeah, and this is, I never even knew that was him until someone told me later on.
Yeah, I didn't either. Thank you for coming, Sound Engraver. Sorry you can't stay.
That's okay. You can always listen to it later. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it. All right.
Now we get the big character reveal with non-heroic music.
No, and I think at this point, do we know if this guy is even our hero?
I mean, I do because I've seen it so many times. But
I do, and I wonder.
Sitting in a theater, 1981, you smack, yeah.
I mean, I say this guy with the gun. Who's he? Is he the guy we're following? It's like, okay, and then here he comes out, but we know it's Harrison Ford. So he's the guy in the movie poster, but.
And he had not played a bad guy yet on film. He's only played one bad guy on film, hasn't he?
I'm trying to remember what I even saw him in where he played a villain.
What Lies Beneath with Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's right. I saw that. Yes, I know. Yes,
the girl he was having an affair with, and then he tried to kill his wife.
Yes, that was a Hollywood thrill. I didn't care for that movie, but I do remember it. Yeah, for us all.
I like to see that movie.
Yeah, I mean, he's respecting his competitor, and he knows if his competitor didn't make it, this must be very dangerous inside. All right.
And and again, it sets up the scene very well. The guy's like, "Hey, no one's come out of here alive. Please, let's not go in." And he's like, "Nope, we're going."
This track is almost ambient, like ambient sound in places, but maybe I'm mistaken. It's very creepy.
It is,
or at least that's what it evokes. Mm-hmm.
Raiders won 5 Academy Awards: Best Visual Effects, Film Editing, Production Design, Sound Mixing, and then a Special Achievement Award. And the sound mixing in this movie is quite good. I have some things to point out later about it. But Indiana's got like 4 tarantulas on him, and little Dr. Octopus has got like, oh Lord, like the entire pet store. And they were trying to get him to like crawl around on him, but they weren't. They were just hanging out. So they put a female spider on him, and it drove all the male spiders crazy.
Oh my goodness!
But to be an Indiana Jones movie, you can cover mute spiders. I'm okay with it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not a fan of spiders, but oh, good.
If you promise me it's not going to get cut out of the film, I'll do it.
I mean, I might do it, but yeah, actually, spiders aren't my. Oh Lord, the traps.
Now that was kind of creepy as a child.
I don't know if you ever heard of the video game Prince of Persia for the old PC game.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Like real fast, right here. Mm-hmm. That little riff of music right there.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
That's going to pop up 3 or 4 more times in the film, and it's not really on the original soundtrack, but it's almost like a secondary theme for Indiana Jones. This is like where he's getting something done, and he's getting it done in a hurry. But that little piece of music right there. Where
else does that show up? Like during the Well of Souls scene?
Yes, when he's climbing the statue, it shows up in the fight on the airplane, and I think one more spot.
Oh, Sound Engraver is here, but not watching the movie. Well, we appreciate you listening in. Have you seen this movie, Sound Engraver? Okay, that's what scares me. Yeah, you just don't go walking in, right?
Looks kind of easy.
Yeah, the guy basically, though, I was saying that the guy that made Prince of Persia basically said his entire idea for that video game came from this beginning scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark. He said, I want to make that, but as a video game. That's what he said.
that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. And that game has a lot of pitfalls and traps.
Now, this music for the entire temple is not on the original soundtrack, except for this part coming up right here, starting now, but it's not listed it's listed on the Well of the Souls track on the original release.
Interesting. And this is the one from the original after the theatrical release came out. That's the one you're talking about, right?
The original pressing of the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And is that statue like hollow? Because gold weighs a lot.
Yeah, I'm thinking he didn't think this through. He's like,
I'm thinking it's hollow like an Easter egg.
This would be so boring today. Someone would use some kind of laser technoscope. What's the exact weight? Like Mission Impossible style, make a copy of it or something. Like it with a 3D printer. It would be so cool. There we go.
Got it, and we're good. And we're not.
This scene still gets to me. Just the.
Oh man.
Oh. Look at that. He grabs onto the vine.
Back in the day, I would act this out every weekend in the training stitch back behind the house.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, kids today just don't know what they're missing.
Well, they can always rewatch the old stuff, though. You hear that, and it's just I mean,
Oh yeah.
C4 stall.
Do you think that's an instant kill?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, originally, this boulder was like 20-something feet, and then Steven Spielberg saw it, and he's like, "Hey, let's make it bigger."
No.
And they did. And Harrison Ford actually fell there.
Now, what is this supposed to be? An Incan temple? Oh, they're in Peru. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. But it struck me as Mesoamerican, but we can worry about it later. But yeah, I'm just curious. And here we have our villain. But it's not him.
Ow. That sucks. And here you're setting up a guy. Okay, they've got a history. I'm taking something else from you again. I speak Bojitos, you don't. Ha ha.
He does have a point, though.
He does.
When I hear him say this, you chose the wrong friends. It's funny. I'm watching this caption. I always thought he said you could have won them. It was warn them. Okay.
Yeah. He's French.
Yes.
And see, here's the thing. Indiana Jones speaks like 20-something languages.
But not Jovitos. It's probably some obscure...
But not Jovitos. Yeah.
Oh, I love Belloc's laugh. That's terrifying.
Now you got the plucking strings as he runs through the jungle.
Well, that must be
not easy to run through.
I'm thinking adrenaline. Well, you know. Now, this was listed. I took a little. There wasn't too much on this track, but
it is on the original LP, though.
It is on the original. This part was on the LP. I remember, and it's flight
from Peru.
Flight from Peru, and it's the first. It's. They said it was a lighthearted piece with a little sense of danger. I think it gets lighthearted toward the end. I'm not getting lighthearted.
Yeah, yeah. Start out with danger. And we're about to pick up the Raiders March for the first time in this film.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go, right there. And who as a child did not swing into a creek with this in their head?
Yes, of course. This probably inspired many a run at Action Park in New Jersey. Never mind. I have to talk about that on a stream someday, Action Park. There's a video of it on YouTube. So first time we have the Indiana Jones theme, and I think, okay,
it is.
Now we have our heroic theme finally. Because I wonder if up to now, if we're even... all right. Do me a favor, Daniel. I lost my place. What's the time?
I hate Snake's Jock. I hate him.
Yeah. All right.
And the plane's flying off in the sunset.
Hold on. Now I'm in the classroom.
Okay, Marshall College just showed up on the outside and a car drove by.
Okay, thank you.
Marshall College, which was named for Frank Marshall.
There we go.
Actually, yeah, Neolithic.
Gotcha. All right, I'm almost there. Hold on.
I need to run real fast. I've got a dog that's barking. I'll be right back.
That's okay. I'll talk about it a little bit. Let me just fast forward a little bit.
Thank you.
All right.
What?
You've never seen Indiana Jones. You might like these if you're a fan of the Star Wars movies, because these were kind of like it's kind of like the sister series of the Star Wars movies. And you know, George Lucas was involved. You have John Williams doing the score, except these of course take place in the contemporary world of the 1930s.
Sorry, I put everyone to bed, but someone wanted to come out, so.
I see. Okay. Okay, now he's talking about the golden coffin buried at the site. I don't know if I'm synced up in the same spot. Close enough. Won't worry about it. Okay.
The girl with the eyelashes.
Yes. Yeah, I just got to her. Okay. Uh, the one trouble with the Xbox controller, you can plug your headphones into it, which is nice, but unfortunately, it's very temperamental. When it hit anything nudges, suddenly the movie goes on the fritz. Okay.
There's a lot of women in his class.
Yeah,
And
I've noticed that.
I think there's like 3 guys. I have
There's
that
3
sweater,
guys.
I think. But,
Yeah. And they're all leaving. And I like this one guy that drops off the apple.
yeah. And then Marcus just comes and takes it.
Marcus takes it. I don't know if any was going to bother eating it. I don't like green apples.
They're okay sometimes.
It depends. I get them in fruit cups a lot. I'm like, But this is interesting. So we're in the 30s. What year was this again? Was this 36?
36. Temple of Doom was
Yeah.
35.
Okay, yeah.
Last Crusade was 38 or 39.
So the U.S. government must know that Nazi Germany is a problem, but they're not sure what to do about it yet. We're not in the war yet, obviously.
Correct.
So we're not quite there yet. And I think I used the N word. So, but anyway,
right.
We'll figure it out.
If the YouTube police kick down my front door,
yes, yeah, it's fine. But anyways, expert on the occult. How does one say it? Obtainer of rare antiquities. Now, this might be a good time to talk about. This thing got an original release that only had 9 tracks on it.
Yeah,
and this was
I know.
considered a greatest hits release. And I had this on, wait for it, not vinyl record, but audio cassette.
I still have my audio cassette.
I don't know if I still have mine or not. I don't know if I would have thrown that out or not, but this is definitely a score I need to repurchase. I do have like a Prague Philharmonic covers the best hits of all the movies, but I need to buy the trilogy. For some reason, this is one I never got for myself or my dad, but I think I came close to getting him the set once, but never got around to it.
This one came out in 95. It's about 70, 75 minutes of music.
Yeah.
If you get the LP, it's got like, I think 6 more minutes of music on it. There's one copy on eBay of the LP that I know of that's for sale. It's about $300. This is the box set that came out from Concord Records, 2008, 2006. It goes for about $300 on Amazon if you can find it.
Gotcha.
It's got all the movies in it. They're not complete. It's very annoying. It was a letdown, but it's more music than here, and this is more than here.
I see. And welcome, Netters Network. Thank you for stopping by. Everyone, be sure to hit the thumbs up. We got 7 watching now. That's not bad.
Where do you see that at?
It's on the YouTube page, not on the. I'm on the YouTube page, not on the thing.
Okay. Quiet. Quiet. We're on TV tonight. You can't be loud. You have to be quiet.
But anyways, yeah, the 95 one, I think from what I heard was the best release. And I think
probably
that one's
so.
harder to find
so.
now. Yeah. I had the 9-track one, and I used to listen to that a lot on my, I don't think I had an official Walkman. I did have a Walkman wannabe though. And there were a total of 9 tracks on the original album. The Raiders March, Flight from Peru, The Basket Game, The Map Room at Dawn, The Well of the Souls, Desert Chase, Marion's Theme, The Miracle of the Ark, and the end credits. Okay?
Yes.
And they said that was less than half the material composed for the movie.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. Back in the day, you didn't get very long releases.
Yeah, but the one from the 90s had a pretty good selection. The 19 tracks, that's what, 10 more?
Yeah.
It had the Raiders March, main title, South America, 1936, in the Idol's Temple, Flight from Peru, Journey to Nepal, The Medallion to Cairo, The Basket Game, The Map Room at Dawn, Reunion and The Dig Begins, The Well of the Souls, Airplane Fight, Desert Chase, Marion's Theme, The German Sub, Ark Trek, The Miracle of the Ark, and the The Warhouse. The
And the end
Warehouse.
credits.
Okay, okay. And end credits, yeah, and that was it. And I think there was a 2008 reissue by Concord Records. It omits the Raiders March, but it has most of the other stuff on it. So, and that's one I should probably pick up. I might be doing that after we watch this some point. I'll be picking that one up.
Yeah, it's going to cost you.
The Concord release or the 95 release?
Concord release is going to cost you.
I saw. Oh, you're right. Well, I think there's another release after the Concord. They have it on Amazon for like $11. So
what?
I don't think it's the Concord release. I think it's the one that followed it. So I could be wrong.
Okay. Well, you send me the link because I'm gonna have to take a look at it.
I'll send it to you. They only, yeah.
Ark theme right here. First introduction. It's low. It's kind of creepy. It's very ominous. And it's setting up the Ark. I think the Ark is a character in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Because Indiana Jones says it's the power of God or something. And the army guys are like, oh, well, maybe this might be something we might want to care about.
Yeah, well, they learned about it in Sunday school, right? They say that of course, we see the picture in the book, and it looks like Roman soldiers are being struck down by it. It looks like.
Yeah.
It's like this sort of stuff has happened before. Don't mess with the Ark.
Judging from the Old Testament, I wouldn't have messed with it.
No.
It would strike people down if they touched it.
No, I remember when I was taking we had the religion classes because I went to Catholic school for a few years, and they, we learned all about what happened to the broken pieces that Moses threw off the Mount Sinai. Oh, they put them. They created an ark to house them in. Yeah. And I think I watched a made-for-TV movie about or maybe it wasn't made for TV, but it was about King David and about when they were first came to Israel and they named the king, and they were. I think the big thing was him bringing the ark to Israel. That was a big scene in that movie.
Now, Marion's theme is about to be introduced here for the first time.
Because he brings up Professor Ravenwood, right?
Yes.
And his daughter was Marion. Yep.
Marion's theme. We're gonna get Marion's theme, the Ark theme, the Raiders March, and the naughty German flourish within like the next 3 minutes.
Yes.
And it's musically. Here's the Ark theme. We just went from Marion. Now we got the Ark.
Uh-huh.
And then we're gonna get the Raiders March, and then the naughty German theme.
And you see Marcus talking about it, and he's actually fairly concerned. He's like,
Yeah. I do like that dressing gown.
Yeah. A lot of superstitious hocus pocus. Go ahead.
Now we're getting into like a Raiders March Trek music, and he's gonna get on the plane, and you'll see Tote, who's the naughty German, and we'll get a little naughty German flourish on the horns.
Yes. Yeah, this was the one Professor Geek rewatch that I missed back in the day. So I'm glad to be doing it now with you. But
here we go. The naughty German theme. And then we're gonna go back into Raiders. So you got 4 themed in like what, like a 3-minute span to just lead into one another.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hate to take that long of a plane flight back then. Oh.
They said this was a very difficult score for Williams to compose, especially the main Raiders theme. He said it was very grueling, actually, coming up with the right match. I think
he came up with 2 versions, which became part A and part B.
Oh, okay.
But John Williams was actually a newlywed when he started scoring this movie.
Oh, interesting.
His first wife died in 78, I think, from a brain hemorrhage.
Oh, that's horrible.
Left him with 4 children.
Wow.
And you talk about John Williams, but you never. Yeah, he's got 4 kids. He was a single dad for several years.
Yeah. Yeah, I should do some research on Williams. I didn't think I'd do that. Yeah, I mean, 4 kids. Did any of them go into music?
Yes, his
Oh,
son
okay.
Joseph Williams wrote the Ewok song and the Leptonique song for Return of the Jedi, and he's part of Toto.
Oh, okay.
But his John Williams' brother is in the Boston Pops. He's one of the he's in the orchestra.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah, he's got, I think it's 3 brothers and 1 sister.
Huh. This guy has sausage fingers. I'm sorry.
He's pretty plump.
Oh my! There, and then he goes tumbling over. Okay. So I guess this sets up just how tough Marion is if she drunk this guy under the table, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't easy for her either. You saw her struggling too, though. So
true.
I wouldn't call her a Mary Sue or anything like that. But
do you think she would have made a good Lois Lane back in the day?
Yeah, I mean, there are some resemblances between her and Margot Kidder. Yeah, in fact, I think when I was a kid, I used to confuse them when I was a child because I saw both movies around the same time. I think Superman 2, and this. Yeah.
Karen Allen is she's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why she didn't. Maybe it was by choice. She didn't do a whole lot of films back in the 80s, but Smack, yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
She's very beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why either, because people probably would have gone to see movies with her in it. I just, I think she finally showed up in the early 2000s in an indie. Maybe she had other things she wanted to do. That could be it, or.
I know originally she was a stage actress, and a lot of times people just prefer stage.
Oh, well, there you go. She might have done stage work. I know that the main actor on the actor opposite who played the guy who played Balky, Bronson Pinchot, the other guy, he was a big stage actor. So
Cousin Larry.
Cousin Larry. He did a lot of stuff on in theater rather than TV, but he did do a TV show. Abner's dead. But even the sound design in this, even when the score's not playing, we hear the crackling fire of the wind.
Yeah. Yeah, the wind in this scene is constant. I noticed that today watching it on my tablet. I'm like, the wind. I can still hear the wind in there inside. That was the first time I noticed it after 3,000 times watching this movie.
Mm-hmm. So did you want to become an archaeologist after seeing this movie?
Yes, still to this day. I would like to have a PhD in archaeology.
Yeah,
more than anything else, PhD in archaeology. I'll put it right here by my desk.
There you go.
I'll take something down.
But what was it? I used to see. I remember after seeing this movie, I went to the library. And I said, I want to be like Indiana Jones, so I have to read books on ancient Egypt. So I got books out by ancient Egypt and started reading them. Oh, Professor Geek, thank you for stopping by.
Hello, Professor Geek. Okay, music is about to start.
All right.
Right here.
Now, this is definitely a suspenseful track.
Yeah, this is an English horn. Mm-hmm. Everything I have read says the headpiece Staffora has a different theme from the Ark. I can't quite tell it apart that well. To me, it's just the Ark theme just slightly different.
So they call.
I guess if I could read music, I could make heads or tails out of it. But she hangs it up. She goes back to the bar. Toad comes in. You get the naughty German music. And he's going to talk to her, and that's it for this entire scene. The entire gunfight, no music. And I wonder if that was intentional or it just worked out that way.
I don't know. Uh,
God, Toad is just creepy as all day and all night. Creepy.
yeah, he is terrifying.
Oh,
Everything about him looks off. It's just,
it's cliche, but it's cliche done very well.
I mean, he's got those weird round spectacles. He has the hat, and it's like,
The black leather trench coat, the
mhm.
black suit.
I think when I was a kid, I didn't even know much about World War II history at this point. I just knew that this guy disturbed me.
Oh, and so he should. So he should. That's right. It's my place. Music becomes a lot more intense.
Yeah.
And Indiana comes in, knocks the fire stick out of his hand, and the music just stops. That's it.
Yeah.
Gunfight starts, music stops.
This is terrifying. It builds as it comes toward her.
And the music here is still low. It's not overpowering.
No.
Crack of the whip, music flourish, let her go. Bang. No more music.
Oh, there we go.
Now, he switched over from the Smith & Wesson revolver, which has 6 shots, to a Browning high power, which should have about 9 shots in it.
Okay.
But I would carry a revolver as a backup, but I would carry an autoloader as my primary. I do carry an autoloader as my primary. You got more bullets with it.
Yeah.
But,
Now, I'm wondering, could he have gotten that gun from the U.S. government? I mean, is he like a free agent, or is he actually working on behalf of the U.S. government right here?
Well, he's an agent of the U.S. government. Oh,
yeah,
hey, it's a broom handle Mauser. I never noticed that. He's out of bullets.
I have to tell you, when I was a kid, I had, after I was done with Star Wars, I started buying Raiders of the Lost Ark toys.
I had all of them.
I don't think they had a play set for this part, right? I don't think
they did not. Why? Why not?
I don't know why. This would have made perfect sense to me. It was all the Egyptian stuff. They didn't even have the idol tomb either from the beginning.
Yeah,
that either.
So many lost opportunities.
But of course, what was the hardest action? Oh, shoot them both.
Yeah.
He's not playing around.
It's efficient. It's efficient. Hey,
This is not like Dr. Evil wanting to feed you the sharks. He's not wasting time. He's just gonna.
Yeah, I would do the same thing. I just feel like, hey,
I just want the medallion, and I don't care what happens to anybody else. It's like. I think I remember as a kid watching this. I don't want him getting that, and then he gets it, and his hand burns. It's like,
Now, did it burn because it was hot, or did it burn because of the power of God?
It burned because it was hot. I'm assuming it was because it was hot. Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not like the chakra stones from the previous movie where I think they burned the one the villain's hand. Remember when he held on to it? Remember that?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
None of this is CGI. This is actual fire. Actual fire and actual building.
Everything is practical sets and places in this. It was weird me watching it now though, because I wonder how kids today would see this. Would they see it dated like I would see older movies myself? But I don't know.
So you get the Raiders March, which is going to bleed into Marion's theme right there.
Mm-hmm. So we've already been introduced to this German group.
The naughty Germans.
Hey, bots will get us anyway. Who we all don't like because they were an enemy of the United States. So it's not weird to have them as the villains.
More than that.
Like it's like I always like how in these movies the other one's the thuggy cult, and like no one likes the thuggy cult. Like that was a thing in India that apparently the British disbanded them like in the 1800s. But
I probably did more than disbanded them. I think they killed all of them.
Maybe, yeah. Did you like the monkey as a kid?
He didn't bother me. I don't think it was pandering to children.
But the thing is, I wonder if it's if it's not really pandering though, because he's bad. He's working for the bad guys. He's a bad monkey.
I don't know if the monkey can make a moral judgment or not. I think he's just being a monkey.
I guess so.
but yeah, I would expect Cairo 1936. You could pick up a monkey on the street and walk around with it.
Yeah, I guess so. And we have the great John Rhys Davies.
He's a very fine actor.
Yeah, he shows up in a lot of movies. In fact, I was very happy because I was older when I saw Last Crusade, and I was very happy to see everybody get reunited, like Marcus and
yeah, Sala came back.
Sala came back, and Marcus got more screen time too, which I thought was nice. Okay, because I always liked Marcus from the first movie, and I was happy to see more of him in the third. Yeah,
he died shortly after that film, unfortunately.
Well, at least he went out on a high note, though. I mean, that's a good movie to end your career on.
See, and here's Sala saying, if the Ark is there in Tanis, we shouldn't be messing with it.
Yeah. Trying to hear for music cues.
This is a very tight film. There's no fluff in this at all.
It is. I mean, it's 2 hours, but it speeds by. Everything is along at a fast clip. But that's not sporadic though, like how some modern movies can be. It's just, I don't know. I used to watch this over and over when I was a kid. I
would watch it every weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I was close. I think the one I watched most was, of course, Star Wars: A New Hope. That one got the most play. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That was another one I used to watch all the time. Let's see. I love this. Yes. Okay. You don't have to give this. You're not being very secret. The secret salute. Okay. It's like,
high five.
Yeah. High five. Yeah. We know what he's.
Well, you said you were very much interested in the basket game. So what do you like about the basket game?
Let me start talking. This was one I used to listen to a lot on the old audio tape I had. And I do think it has kind of a whimsical feel to it.
It does, because this scene could go like one of two ways. How it goes, or it could be very, very serious and dire.
Yeah, and we'll get there toward the end of the song too. Yeah, definitely.
Because you just started with the naughty German theme.
Yeah. And
now it's about to get bouncy.
And we know these guys are dangerous because we've just seen what they can do in that bar in Nepal. Okay, so. Because I was a kid, I didn't know anything. Like I said, I didn't know any of the history. I just knew these guys are. I was wondering if I even knew this took place in the past when I first saw it. It's like...
Well, free advice: anytime you're in the Middle East and some guy with their head completely wrapped up runs towards you with a machete, go the other way.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It's whimsical though, so maybe we don't have to worry about them being in too much danger, though. That's sort of how I feel about this. Maybe.
And see, he just got skewered, and it could have gone. It could have been played differently.
Oh God!
I did have this play set as a child.
I had this as well. I had the little monkey that went along with it. I had the baskets. I had the little Marion in the crouching position because that was a
Yes.
special figure that came with the set. That's all she could do is crouch, though.
And don't bring a knife to a frying pan fight.
I don't know. I mean, there are. Oh, he's laughing at her. You're right. Yes. I think we do get a little bit of levity. It's not like they're completely out of danger, though. I mean, I'm not saying they're out of danger, but you're wondering how they're going to get out of this. But the music puts you a little bit at ease, I think. And I'm trying to think what I found. This was from Ramondus Rex at WordPress.com. Lighthearted action cue. And I got more to say when we get the swordsman. But I got a quote from him, which is pretty good. Oh, Lord, I hate that monkey. I think this is when I turned on the monkey as a kid.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
You're messing with the pretty lady. Leave her alone, you know? All right, here we're about to get to the swordsman. Maybe you're there already. Swordsman gets very bombastic. Trumpet motif before a few goofy notes lead to one pluck coinciding with Indy gunning him down.
Which is what I would have done.
Yes.
But that wasn't what was supposed to have been done.
I never even knew that till I heard about it the other day about that. I don't know if Troy mentioned it. Yeah, and I was
Harrison Ford was very sick that day.
That was a brilliant end to. I mean, like I read a lot of Pulp Fiction that was written during this time, and Indiana Jones is very much in the vein of that style character, like the worldwide adventurer. Like Robert E. Howard had stories with a character like this. You know, he wasn't this, but he'll be exploring the world. Yeah.
Now he's like dipping over all the baskets, and the music is going da 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 da. You know, and he goes up, back down, up, back down.
Dun, 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 dun. I like how her scream trails off too as she walks. I mean, just okay.
Now, the truck flipping over, this was the last stunt that they filmed for the movie.
Oh, so they did this at the end. Interesting.
Yeah, they thought this was the most dangerous stunt in the movie, actually.
It looks like, actually. I'll say that.
And then we bring Marion's theme back in. Very strong.
Marion's theme comes in, and the guy wrote that it's a tragic rendition of Marion's theme.
It is.
And, you know, when I was a kid, I thought she was dead, too.
I thought she died.
No, yeah. I was like, oh, no. It's like...
One thing about the sound design, Indy's got a 454 Smith & Wesson revolver, but the gunshot sound you hear is that of a 30-30 rifle, which is a good bit louder than a pistol. But I thought that was interesting. You used a rifle discharge for a pistol, but it works.
Yeah. Oh, did you have the little fruit baskets, too, in the set? I think there were little fruit baskets. I wonder if I still have those.
With little bitty fruit.
I wonder if I still have those because I got a bunch of my toys in a box somewhere. I haven't looked at them in probably a couple decades now, but I'm kind of curious what's in there. Ooh, that'll be a good YouTube video, me unearthing my toys. I didn't think about that.
Do you have a USS flag in the attic?
A USS flag?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
The aircraft carrier from G.I. Joe?
No, I never. You know, it's funny. I never collected G.I. Joe growing up, and in retrospect, I should have because I really thought the toys were cool, and if I'd given the show a chance, I might have liked it. But when I was a kid, I kind of had I didn't watch too many of the contemporary cartoons except for a Nickelodeon show called Mysterious Cities of Gold. Of course, that was kind of in the vein of this. It was about exploring ancient ruins and stuff. So. But yeah, G.I. Joe was probably something I should have gotten into, though. I think I would have enjoyed it. Because I think the Indiana
Now,
Jones figures were the same scale as everything else, like G.I. Joe and Star Wars, right?
they pretty much were, yeah. The blocking on this scene is very interesting. You've got this angle, and you hold this for pretty much the entire conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Harrison Ford here, and you've got Paul Freeman over here. And Harrison Ford's dark, Paul Freeman's more bright.
Yeah. And I'm almost wondering if you look at it at a glance, who looks more civilized here? You know?
I mean, Belloc does.
Yeah, I mean he's clean shaven. He's got the nice white hat.
He's not drunk.
Yes. You know, Indy has the scowl on his face. The shadow. His face is completely shadowed too, almost. You know, it's. You know, I'm just noticing that comedy makes about the watch he bought from the street vendor becomes priceless in 10,000 years, and I'm thinking that it's kind of a cynical view of archaeology. It's I'm just noticing that now as an adult. You know, it's like, oh. Let's go see him together. I've got nothing better to do. Yes. And he's rescued by kids.
Do you think he would have killed him right then and there if the Arabs hadn't jumped up?
Maybe. I don't know. I think he was prepped. No, I don't know. Well, because I think he probably knew what was going to happen regardless. I think he's just like, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying this is like a Greedo situation from Star Wars.
Marion is dead as far as he knows. She's gone.
He's upset about that too.
He's very upset, and he is intoxicated. You make bad decisions when you're intoxicated.
That's true.
I think he would have. I think he's been like, screw it. You know what? Yeah. I don't like you, Belloc. I'm tired of you. Well, only woman I loved is dead, so let's just do it.
He really hates Belloc too, and it's just Sala is the good friend that steps in.
Sala's we all need a Sala in our life.
Yes. Okay. All right, so this is neat. They're in the. You have one of these. Always in one of these movies, you have the expert they find to do the translation. It seems. I don't know. I think I watched the Miss Fisher watched the Miss Fisher movie recently, and they had to find an archaeologist to translate something. I think in that it's like there's always like the old expert. Oh, Big Al's here. Hello, Al. It's
Hello,
not
Al.
the ears. It's not the ears, honey. It's the mileage. Best line
Very
ever.
True.
Yeah, I like that. Oh.
There's not a lot of music in this scene, aside from Monkey Man poisoning the dates, and then the poor little monkey dying from eating the dates.
Yeah, but is he the poor little monkey, considering the fact that he is a spy?
I don't think the monkey can really know what it's doing.
I know. When I was a kid, I was like, "That's a bad monkey." I'm like, oh. Actually, though, I think I did feel a little bad for it even when I was a kid. But yeah, I like how he's looking about. Is anybody looking? I'm going to swipe one.
Warning not to disturb the Ark of the Covenant. And Indiana's like, hey, no, hey, how tall is my stick? Just tell me.
Yes. It's such a simple thing to get wrong, but it's believable that they would do it, because they made the copy from the guy's burned hand, right?
Right.
In fact, when I was a kid, I was like, how'd they get the wrong? Was there another one made? And then I saw the guy hold up his hand in a later scene in this, right? He holds up his hand.
There is a cut scene from this where the old man tells Indiana to not look upon the power of God.
Interesting.
And that's what saves him at the end, because people are like, how did he know not to look? Because the old man said, do not look upon the power of God, because it's on the headpiece. But they cut that out. I mean, you're talking about like a 45-second scene. You couldn't put that in there. Bye, monkey. Sorry, monkey.
I don't know. I wonder why. Maybe they were afraid it would be foreshadowing too much. Like it would cue the audience what would happen when they open the Ark. That's probably why they cut it out. It was probably more for that, just because they didn't want, when they do open up at the end, you don't know what's going to happen. Archaeology is not an exact science.
What science is an exact science besides math?
I don't know. I took an anthropology class once. Actually, I took 2 anthropology classes when I went to college. Yeah, it was I think they were both required at the time. I think we were required to take 1 gender studies class, but luckily I picked a good one. It was gender cross-cultural development, and examined the way gender was done through different cultures around the world. So that was actually an interesting class. So, yeah.
Okay, one of my favorite scenes.
Yes. Oh, yeah. This is you. This is. I don't know. This might be one of the best scores on the album.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, the best tracks on the album, I should say.
I still have my map room from a child.
I still have it too. You had the little you had the staff of Ra, and you had the little place you put the staff in. When this music cue's over, I have to tell you a tragic Indiana Jones toy story of mine. Okay. Yeah, you'll know what I'm talking about when I talk about it.
So the music starts when he starts going down the rope into the map room, and it's very similar to what you'll hear at the end of the movie when they open up the Ark.
Oh yeah.
And then you got the naughty German people music, because Salah's getting in some trouble.
I get so annoyed. It's on the tracks of the stupid album, people. It's like, you too.
Words are violence.
I know. Well, it's anyway. Let's not spoil this commentary with stupidity. Anyway, here we go, Salah. I like how Salah tumbles. I used to have this theme playing in my head all the time as a kid.
And this is one of the few times he actually does some archaeological work in any of the movies. He has to get out his notepad. He has to figure out which hole to put it in. He has to take a tape measure and get measurements.
Oh. I kept thinking Salah was going to be in trouble, but then I realized, well, he's just blending in with the other guys, the other workers. I said, "You're at the wrong place. Go over here."
Oh yeah, I think I'm about 10 seconds ahead of you. So the staff just went into the hole, and the sunbeam's coming down.
Okay.
And the music's picking up, and it's building.
Yeah.
And the choir comes in.
Even listening to this track by yourself, you get goosebumps hearing this part.
You do, and you should.
Yeah.
And musically, when that ray beam hits where the Ark is, and the trumpets flare, and the chorus comes back, right there,
Yep.
Musically, that's the high point of this film.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
I agree with you. I mean, there are many things I like in it, but this one might take the cake, yeah.
Then it cuts back to Sala fiddling around. Then you cut back to Indiana getting the measurements. And then the naughty German person flag drops down.
Yes. Well, this falls on him. I'm like, well, that's probably not good. It's like, okay. Okay, so you made a makeshift rope. Mm-hmm.
This is like another spot. You got about 4 minutes of film, but you've got a bunch. You find Marion, you find the Ark. The naughty Germans want to torture Marion. Toad comes in with his scarred hand, and then you start to dig for the Ark. All within about 4 minutes, you've got various thematic elements of the score. It's all mushed together and blended together perfectly. Why? Yep. John Williams. That's why.
Yeah.
Of course, Karen Allen is just so beautiful.
Wow. Yeah. And now he's like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I'll have to come back for you later.
Which actually, what he's doing makes sense, actually, because it could put them both in danger.
Yeah.
If someone's going to come and see that she's missing, Indy's on the grounds. Okay, yeah, he can't do it. I understand.
Or even if she just got loose, they're going to go look for her.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Interesting thing about this set, 600 extras, all built in the desert. 10,000 gallons of water were pumped in every single day so people could stay hydrated. That's 600 extras in the desert. That's pretty daunting. I mean, now you would just CGI the whole thing.
Yeah, it's never as good. I wonder how old Spielberg was when he first made this. Was he? Tell me he wasn't
in his early 30s.
Wow. Because he had done Close Encounters already. Yeah, I think he did. Close Encounters was before this, and then Jaws. Yeah, so
Jaws 75. Yep. 1941 came before this one.
Oh, okay. I wonder when
Toad.
No, I'm kind of curious. When was Steven Spielberg born? Look that up.
40s?
Yeah, that makes sense. They say you're always obsessed with the decade that you weren't really a part of before you were born. At least that's I forget what that's called. And let me see. Yep, 46. 1946. Like for me, I'm always fascinated by the 70s. So I don't know.
So they're on top of that mound getting ready to dig. Music's low, but it starts to build. Then when he sticks the shovel in the ground,
now you have to admit it takes guts to be doing this. Okay.
Yeah.
Because aren't they right in view?
They are, but they look like everybody else.
They look like
everyone's digging a hole. You know,
yeah.
It's just like, oh, hey, he's digging a hole over there too. Okay, cool.
And I'll just sneak in, take the Ark, and get out of there.
And it almost works.
Oh my goodness. The clouds and lightning, 80s did them the best.
They did. They did.
That is terrifying. That is almost supernatural looking, and it's like, don't dig here. Leave it be. But of course, he's doing it so somebody else doesn't get their hands on it, someone far worse. So,
Imchi, which means quickly. That's the extent of my Arabic, is I know what imshi means.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't think I know any Arabic. Okay. What's that like? What's it called? Farsi? Is that the language?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. You look at the smoke escaping, or the not the smoke, the air, the gas.
Yeah.
You wonder it's probably hasn't been open for what, thousands of years? It's like, okay, and this is, of course, the Well of the Souls theme. And I got a bit,
which still does not have a definitive release anywhere.
It doesn't. I seem to recall hearing it on the old cassette, though. And my theory is, was it truncated on the cassette?
There's like 3 minutes of it, maybe.
Okay. Yes.
And the ending of it is a piece from the Idol Temple at the start of the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And there was a review by Craig Lisey on moviemusicuk.us, and he has some interesting things to say. He said that this music cue supports two scenes, which I think is what makes it interesting, because we're going back and forth, so it has to change, but it still has to mold together too, right? So, of course, we have, there's the Marion dining with Belloc in his tent, and then there's discovery of the Well of the Souls.
The scene with Marion and Belloc was originally not scripted. They were trying to figure out a way to get Marion to change clothes, and this is what they came up with.
Okay. I could see him being the type of guy that would, want to put her in a fancy dress like that, though,
Well, he is French.
Well, I'm almost recalling back to that movie we watched on Professor Geek Stream, Laura, with the one guy who, wanted to kind of, like, I mean, what is this, like Pygmalion? You're taking the rough lower class girl and wanting to put her in fine linens and stuff and turn her into something else. I don't know. I might be reaching there with the My Fair Lady Pygmalion reference, but I think first the Belloc's theme starts out as a little sinister, but then it starts a little dark and ominous horns, but then okay, and then low registered woodwinds speak to his menace, but then the music softens as she changes into a beautiful gown.
Yes, it is.
The music, yeah. And then the music turns flirtatious as she emerges with the beautiful gown.
Yeah, she is not ugly. I will go on record stating that Karen Allen is not ugly.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, even, yeah. And now we're back to scary business. Belloc gets to dine with a beautiful woman. Indy's stuck in the snake pit. Okay.
That's how it is.
Yes.
Man got to do the work.
I kept wondering what she was eating. Was it bread or fruit or something? I kept thinking it was some foreign exotic dish when I was a kid, and I always wondered what it tastes like.
So they started out with 2,000 snakes, and they ended up with either 9,000 or 10,000 snakes.
Oh, really?
I think 2,000's enough, but Steven Spielberg's like, no, get me more snakes.
This would terrify me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody's a fan of snakes, period. But yeah, I mean, my phobia is more of the hornets, wasps, bees, that sort of thing. But what does it say about the? As the camera scans the floor, Williams supports with a tonal cacophony of grotesque, trilling woodwinds and slithering strings, which creates feelings of dread for Indy. And it's a grotesque crescendo that that builds as Indy sets fire to keep the snakes at bay.
Yeah, I would imagine that smells horrible.
Yeah. I mean, some people do eat snake, though, right?
Yeah.
I've never had snake. I've eaten many things, but not snake.
And of course, Marion can just down the wine, and Belloc was like,
he's trying. Off. Oh, I think she's trying to get him toasted.
Oh yeah.
I think she's trying to do a competition thing with him. Yes. Yeah, actually, that's how it does play out, and we know she has this ability from earlier.
It's amazing how you know this without them telling you. They just showed it to you. Remember? Like 40 minutes ago, they had a scene where she drank some big guy under the table.
That was important. Yeah, because think about it, if they hadn't shown that scene with her exhausted in the bar and everything like that, I think if we saw that scene, it would just come off as ridiculous. Yeah. That would be how they would do the scene today. They just say, oh, I can drink any man on the table. No, we see her. We know that she can do it, but of course it's not easy even for her to do it. And do you understand? They do that earlier on. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the stuff in these is a little far-fetched. I think they get the most far-fetched in part 3. But this might be the most grounded one of the 3, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think because Indy gets his butt kicked a lot in this version, actually.
Temple of Doom too. That's a hard. Steven Spielberg described it as Indiana Jones goes to hell and gets out.
Pretty much.
That's Temple of Doom. I mean, in a nutshell.
Did you used to have you had of course the Well of the Souls playset, right?
I did not. My neighbor did.
Oh, I see. Oh, that was the coolest one, actually. Yeah, that was you got the Ark of the Covenant. You got the thing you lifted off of it. And if you look carefully at it with the toy, you see C-3PO and R2-D2 on one side of the stone slab that's covering it. There's a little reference, to Star Wars. It was. Now, you've often said that the Well of Souls theme is incomplete. Is that because they cut the Ark part of it out?
They do so much bouncing around.
Yeah.
I mean, in the old days, you could only release I think max a 50-minute soundtrack without paying more duties to the musicians. It was
really? Was that why?
Yeah. So you've got 50 minutes you can use. This is probably about 20 minutes of movie if you get the whole shebang in here. And I mean, I can understand why it's not complete on this guy, but
I think
this guy right here, and sure as hell, this guy right here, Concord Records. I'm looking at you. Yeah, it should all be here.
Yes.
For what I paid for this, I want the whole thing.
Oh, I've had that happen.
Oh, actually, but hey, that thing with the coat hanger that Tote does, that was a sight gag in 1941 that got cut out, and Steven Spielberg wanted to recycle it, so he threw it in the movie.
That's funny. Well, because you're looking at it, and I'm like, oh my Lord, what is it? He's going to torture device.
Nunchucks.
Yes.
Naughty German ninja man.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just bad.
The Ark is so beautiful.
How heavy is this thing, I wonder?
Well, it's plated with gold, so a lot.
Well, even the
Gold's not as
slabs
heavy as
cover.
platinum, but it's pretty stout.
I love India uncovering it, and I mean, even the thing covering it would probably have been an archaeological find. Just the covering of it.
Oh yeah.
It gets busted like that. It's like, oh.
Oh, well, he's gonna totally wreck this temple in a couple minutes.
Modern archaeologists are now trying to repair it in some lab. They're saying, "What idiot just tossed this on the ground?" It's like,
how to fail as an archaeologist.
I know. Oh, don't even get me started on Lara Croft Tomb Raider as far as that goes. Okay, so he puts it in the box.
Yeah, all the music through here is available on the supplemental CD to the Concord set. That's the only place this is available.
Yeah, collecting complete soundtracks can be hard.
Yeah.
It's frustrating because I do buy a lot of Italian soundtracks, but the trouble is they would get different musicians to conduct different portions of the movies over there sometimes. So like half would be done by the band Goblin, the other half would be done by a guy that I forget what the guy's name was, but he was the drummer for I think the Rolling Stones, and he did another part of it. You can never find his tracks anywhere. At least with this, though, it's all just one man composing the music, so you don't have to worry about that as much. Of course, that's also less of an excuse why it's so hard to get a complete version of this.
Yeah, Disney, you need money? You need money? Make me a new one.
Oh,
Put everything on it.
Because I noticed
I'll pay you.
See, because I don't know. All right, do you want to hear my sad Indiana Jones toy story?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you were out buying Indiana Jones figures to play with, if you did play with them, what was the one figure you could never find? Let's see if you know the answer to this.
Well, Marion's the most valuable.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if I have Marion. I'll have to hunt.
You got her carded. You can buy a new house.
Wait a minute. If I have her, what?
On the card, non-opened.
Oh, well, forget that.
Yeah.
No. No, I only have two toys that are unopened, and that is Size Noodles and the Rebo Band and Rancor Monster. Of course, the boxes aren't mint on the outside, but they've never been opened. But I'm trying to think, though. I must have had Marion. Did I buy Marion, or did I not buy Marion? Or was I a boy and said, I don't want to buy the girl? I don't know. Anyway, the hardest figure I could find when I was a kid was Indiana Jones himself, okay?
True.
You couldn't find him anywhere. You could find him in the German soldier garb, okay?
Yes.
Who
was the naughty German soldier figure?
Yes. You couldn't find, you could find the naughty German soldier. You could find the torturer guy easily. He was all over the place. He was the first one I got, I think. But you couldn't find Indiana Jones. One day, I think it might have even been a KB Toys in a mall somewhere, and it was away from where I live too. And I was looking for the
KB, the rich person toy store.
Anyway, I found an Indiana Jones in there when I was a kid. And I was very excited. I finally found him in the Indiana Jones getup because darn well they probably printed the same number of every action figure, not realizing that the one everybody wants is the hero. Okay. I buy Indiana Jones, okay, get it home. He came with a little gun and a little whip.
Yes.
I was careful. I don't care how careful you are. That little gun goes missing like in a couple hours, okay?
It does. Because he had the action arm thing.
Yeah, he had well, that was the other guy. Yeah, the other Indy. This was the one who was just the regular in the Indiana Jones outfit, the fedora and everything,
okay.
That was the one that was hard to find. And he had a little whip, which was ridiculous. It was like a little string inside of like a Lego type piece. And then I lost that eventually. And then I took it to school one day with me. And two of my so-called friends decided to play monkey in the middle with me with it. And I said, guys, stop playing catch with that. You're going to break it. Stop playing catch with that. You're going to break it. What do you think happens? Falls on the ground. His leg breaks.
Oh.
And that was it for him. And I learned a valuable lesson. Don't take the toys you value to school with you. Okay. Okay.
We're getting that secondary theme again with him climbing up the statue. And pushing the statue over.
And is this played also? When is this? This is recorded during the truck scene, or maybe I'm wrong.
That little motif.
Yeah.
The airplane scene.
Airplane scene. Okay, and then that leads into the trucks. I think. Yeah.
So you've got some music here, and it's going to stop, and you're going to get sound effects. You're going to get bombarded with Ben Burt sound effects. And then when she comes out of all the corpses, you go back to the music.
Let's see if Sound Engraver is still listening. Sound Engraver, have you ever seen Atlantis: The Lost Empire by Disney? Actually, this was my first encountering with mummies when I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm not sure how legit these are for mummies.
They're probably not, but I saw these and they freaked me out, and I became obsessed with mummies after this. And of course, I think a year later, I watched the original Universal Studios Mummy movie. Maybe I'll talk a bit more about that when I'm on Professor Geek Stream this next week. But he's doing the Mummy on Tuesday. Because I became
the
obsessed
one with the snake coming out gets me. I'm like, why was the snake in that person's mouth?
And was that an asp or was that some other snake in there? Because I know
they all look the same to me. It's just a snake. You know,
yeah, a snake is a snake.
It needs to stay over there, far over there. Oh Lord, this track was not the original release.
Yeah,
it was the dark times, the dark times.
I wonder if I noticed a lot of tracks. I think I was just thankful to have the soundtrack, because I don't know if I had mentioned to you. I don't know if I mentioned this to you or somebody else, but getting the Star Trek complete soundtracks.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Was impossible, and so the fact that I was even able to find it in Raiders of the Lost Ark, where I was happy. I don't know if I could find a Temple of Doom score. I don't remember if I even had Last Crusade.
There's the original release, and then there's the Concord set. That's it. There's nothing else.
I see.
I haven't counted the sync points in the airplane fight, but it's up there. And that really is the beauty of a John Williams action score. The music is so synced so well to the action. I don't need to watch the movie anymore. I can just listen to it and I can replay it up here.
Look at this.
And that airplane pilot is actually Frank Marshall.
Oh, really?
Who's married to Kathleen Kennedy.
Interesting. Okay. Are they still married?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
I think that divorce would cost way too much money to happen.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, look at this.
Then,
no, I'm sorry. I see this guy when I was a kid. I'm like, he's so much bigger than the other guy.
Yeah. And that's Pat Roach. He's been killed 3 times by Indiana Jones.
Oh, really?
Yes. He was the Thuggy guard, the big Thuggy guard in Temple of Doom.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then Last Crusade, he was the naughty German officer who came into his dad's room in the castle and got shot with the submachine gun.
Well, I can imagine they can make him look different each time, because here he just has a shaved head and a mustache, but then he could grow his hair out and then look differently. And just, yeah.
And he was General Kale in Willow.
Oh, I remember Willow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome film score.
I know that's going to be an eventual rewatch on either Big Al or Troy's network, definitely. I love that she gets locked in. But
You get the heroic flourish of the Raiders March when he loses his gun.
Yep.
Which it works, but you think it would be not so heroic because he kind of needs it.
Well, then it gets trepidatious, though, right? It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's like,
but
it's like, why would it happen when he lost the gun? You know what?
Yeah.
Nothing's perfect. That's probably what I'm thinking of.
But it works. I mean, when Ben Kenobi died in Star Wars, you got Princess Leia's theme.
That's true, and that worked there.
Not Obi-Wan's theme, but it works. So I can't knock it. And I can't knock anything in this movie, and I can't knock anything in this film score at all. Of course, the gasoline gets closer to the fire.
I would get out of there if I were you, the guy covered in the gasoline.
Yeah. London Symphony brass department. Gotta love them. Oh, watch out for airplane propellers. Yeah, that.
Oh, he just knocks him flat on his. Okay. And look, Turner. Too late. It's a bad way to go. Okay.
Yeah. He'll be back for Temple of Doom, and he'll get crushed by a rock crusher.
Now I think these started out because George Lucas and Spielberg had a meeting to say we want to make our own James Bond style movie, and I'm glad they went this route than just trying to do a spy movie, because this is something unique in its own. Yeah, this is.
Okay, where are you at in the movie?
The tower blew up and Bella kissed Jones.
Okay, we're in the same spot now. Finally,
we're about it. We're about it. Yeah.
Holy smoke, my friends! I'm so pleased, not dead. Are we at the same spot?
Yeah. A truck is being loaded on a truck for Carl. Truck? Question mark. What truck? Okay.
Oh, yes.
I love this theme.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember if I even had this soundtrack when I had action figures, but I think I wanted to play it with the action figures.
Everything in this entire scene for the next 8 minutes is perfection personified. You got the naughty German person theme bursting out in the brass. You get a little bit quiet. Indiana's get back to Cairo, get us some transport. Whatever you can get.
I don't know. I'm making this up as I go.
That's why he's so relatable.
He's on the white horse. We got
he's on the right. Trumpets flourish. Rides it through the camp. Raiders march, belts out from the symphony. Tracking shot following him.
It's kind of a hopeful theme starting.
It is.
Yeah.
You've got the Ark in the back of the truck with the naughty German people.
I will say this: Indiana Jones has never struck me as like an invincible hero. I always feel like he can die. It's just luck half the time that he's surviving. Because I mean, he has good wits too, but still, what do you end up going up against in these movies?
Raiders march is flourishing.
Yeah.
Pause. Naughty German person theme as he rides down the hill. Everyone's like, hey, what's going on? Way to shoot your own people. Good job. The sync points in here are just spot on. Throws the guy out. Jumps over. Headlock. Face punch.
keep wondering, is anyone surviving being thrown? I'm wondering. It's like, maybe that's like a 50-50. I don't know.
The guy here that's going to fall through the windshield. Oh, I always felt sorry for him. It's playful here, but it's still very serious when they're knocking over all the ladders.
Are they building a house there? What's going on? Okay.
I think it's just a wall.
Okay. So,
laugh, knock him out the truck.
Yeah. Oh man, no, he's
Raiders March comes back in. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Ram Belloc's car. Take that, Belloc! Get off the road.
He's at this point. He's mad.
Yeah. I think he likes the naughty German people more than Belloc.
Well, yeah. Well, Belloc's his arch arch nemesis. And you know the two of them have a history before this movie.
Oh yeah.
Because he was wanting to find Belloc to Marrakesh to get the idol back. Remember, he was gun-hoing, but he was gun-ho for it. But then he got called in on this Ark assignment. You know.
Oh, then that little Jeep drives off the cliff. It's a long way down. Music getting a little bit more serious now with the naughty German people climbing on the truck sides. But he's still doing okay. He's not in danger yet. But that's going to change here pretty quick. And the music is going to dramatically change like that.
Huh.
And this is like the best sync point in film score history. It's coming up here pretty quick. And you probably know what I'm talking about. It's coming.
Yeah. Yes.
Right there. Shot in the arm.
Dun, dun.
The music has totally changed. The ostinato from the Raiders March. Dun, 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 dun. That's all that you've got for about the next 2 minutes. That's it.
It has a pounding sound.
Pounding. Very rhythmic.
Yeah.
The only thing you've got on top of it, you've got the trumpets layered right here. Bump, 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 bump. And John Williams brings in the trumpets just to add some flourish to it. But you still know shit got real for Indiana Jones. And it's only going to get worse.
I think this might be, I'm wondering if this is the most perilous. Well, besides
this is it for him.
The Peru temple's pretty bad, but yeah, this might be the worst.
You just get thrown out the front window. The grill is breaking.
Yeah.
Bump, 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 bump.
What's he going to grab on? He's grabbing on. He's on the wheel. What are they saying? Run him over or do something?
Come on.
It's a stick shift. It's like
everything's a stick shift back then. There are no automatics.
Yeah, yes, it's like. Okay. Can you climb under the car, under the speeding truck? I don't know. I guess so.
They actually dug a little ditch to make it a little bit easier. But the guy had like 2 inches of clearance to do that. Climbs back up in the truck. The Raiders March comes back. It's not as perilous anymore. And you're like, yes, you're doing it. Alden boot to the face. Yes. Climb over. Take the wheel. Bash his head. Yeah. Hit him. Out the window.
I kind of feel bad for this guy.
I do too, but you know, he's a naughty German soldier.
Yeah, I know. He's circa
1936.
He got ran over too. He's done. he's
And then Raiders March comes boasting back, run Belloc's car off the road.
Yeah, he's mad. He's angry. Oh, and now
he's hurt.
saying,
he's hurt.
I'm in a lot of pain.
I feel sorry for the driver of that officer's car.
Yeah, I know.
And then he pulls into the little garage thing, and the awning rolls down, and the music goes.
Brilliant.
Perfect. And you're just like, oh, Lord. You went from riding the statue to the airplane fight to the desert chase, getting shot, dragged behind a truck. Woo! We're done.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I had. Oh, he just throws it. I don't want this junk. And they're laughing at him as they leave. It's like.
And you can breathe. You can finally breathe for the first time in like 20 minutes. You got Sala being a good friend.
There's Mr. Katanga, Captain. I always thought he looked sharp. I like the white turtleneck.
Yeah, he does. He made some appearances in the comic book for Marvel.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So maybe he would run into him in later adventures for help and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sala.
The Marvel comic was good about that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, Sal, I got some kisses.
There's no music here. Do you feel like it needs it?
We have British. We have singing. We have the British tar. As free
I know,
as
but we don't have John Williams music.
I think you don't need music in every scene in the movie. Sometimes you can overscore something, I think, and I don't think we, I don't know. I don't think we need it there. Here we have Marion coming out. This upcoming scene always makes me wince with the mirror.
With the mirror? Yeah.
Calling him a pirate. You don't look like no pirate. Oh.
Yeah. I'll take that Tiffany lamp.
Yeah. Oh.
And here we have Marion's theme. This is the version that's on the LP.
Yeah. The original LP? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad never had the LP of this. He had the LP of the original Star Wars, though.
I need to get that. I have Jedi, but that's it so far.
They were nice back in the day because they were actually released in two discs, two sets. It was a lot of score there, so they didn't rip you off or anything like that. Yeah,
they did with Jedi though. It was a single LP.
Oh, boo!
Yeah.
I remember being a kid. I didn't get that because I was busy buying all the Star Wars toys. But I didn't get because Jedi was able to see in the theater when it was out. The other ones I was too young for to see in the theater. But actually, I think they took me to Empire, but I fell asleep during it because I think I was like 3 years old or something. It's like,
I fell asleep during Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Well, that might be understandable. I'm sorry. I'm being mean. Troy's not listening, hopefully. I pick on Star Trek the most. It has a great score.
It does. It does.
Has some great special effect model work. And well, anyway, like I said, I won't kick a movie when it's down. Anyway, okay. We never seem to get a break, do we? Okay. Yeah, so no fun time. Okay. This terrifies me. Was this ever on a CD? Whatever this is right here?
Yes. On the original LP, Marion's theme, it ends with this bit of music of
all right.
the swastika getting burned through.
Yeah, I must have heard this.
But on the concert piece, it's removed.
Yeah, if your symbol's getting burned through, that should be a hint to you guys. Leave this thing alone.
Yeah.
I
wonder if that was Steven Spielberg's idea.
It might have been, but it makes sense though.
It does. It does.
But it might have been, it was probably Spielberg's idea. Yeah.
This is the same submarine from Das Boot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Have you ever seen Das Boot?
I have it on DVD somewhere, but I've never actually.
It's a brilliant film. It's a long movie, but do yourself a favor someday. Watch it. It's intense. It's you kind of get to see the German perspective a little bit in World War II. You feel kind of sad for the submarine guys because they're not a big fan of the party either, except for the one guy they have stationed that's required to be there with them. But it's an eerie movie in parts too, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's worth checking out. Yeah. Look at that.
And most of this scene is just the naughty German music.
Oh, this is fascinating. On Mr. Matchstick's channel the other night, we were watching Castle of Cagliostro, which was a '79 movie, and I know Spielberg saw it. And in that, the Master Thief, he doesn't hide in one of those whatever those ship things are, but he hides in a water fountain, like there's a line with water coming out of it, and he's hiding behind it. And this reminds me of that scene. I wonder if Spielberg was influenced by that at all, because I know he was a big fan of that anime film. I don't know. Possibly not. But I like this. He's actually trying to save Marion here. He's trying to act like an evil villain.
He's doing her a huge favor.
Like if you're dealing with villains, act like a villain yourself, and maybe you can save the girl.
Yeah. He's actually a stand-up guy.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he is. Yeah. I will waste no more time with her. Okay.
I'm not trying to nitpick here, but
yeah,
I don't think Germany had those submachine guns in 1936.
Maybe not.
I think those came out later in the war.
Possibly.
Because the rationale was you don't need a gun that shoots a lot of bullets fast. You need a highly trained soldier who can place a well-placed bullet downrange efficiently.
Yeah, I can believe it.
And
yeah.
There was so much fighting against submachine guns. Like, no, it makes soldiers lazy. No, it doesn't. It makes them better.
Yeah. What's almost reminded me in Starship Troopers about when the guy says, "Why do I have to learn how to use a knife?" Yeah. And he says, "I can just nuke a bug." And he says, "Okay, get up to the wall." And he throws the knife and hold on to your weapon. No, or he says, and then he throws the knife in the guy's hand, right? And it gets pinned against the wall. He's like, "There you go. Now your enemy can't shoot his gun now, can he?" This is terrifying. This almost reminds me of like a James Bond style villain lair.
Yeah. If I had a secret sub base in the Mediterranean, I think that's pretty cool.
I think I tried building something like this out of rocks, and like we would have like one of the bigger pails in the backyard, and I would have some rocks, and I would try pouring water into it. I think I was trying to recreate this. I'm not sure, or maybe I was just trying to create like something similar, because I was always fascinated by this, the water and the rocks and everything, and just.
He don't look happy.
Nah, he's done with her. Oh, too small.
And the Raiders march here, it's very low. It's kind of playful.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a goofy little scene. They're like, hey, what is this? You didn't shave? You did? Oh, boom. It's like, huh.
Excellent idea. End the war sooner.
Oh, I see. To think though, if if it had been open in Germany, it might have saved us. Might have saved people a lot of trouble. No, I'm sorry. Of course, for all I know, there's also maybe it's an affront of doing the mock Jewish ceremony too. I don't know. It's like,
yeah, I don't think Adolf would have been too keen on that.
No.
Now here you've got the Ark theme, but it's turned into kind of like a march.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very ominous. Oh, look, we have the trench coat dude. I need to know his name.
Tote.
Yeah, Tote.
I'm guessing Tote's in the SS. That's what I would tag him as.
That is a creepy looking actor. I think they uglied him up for the picture too. I can't imagine he's that bad looking in real life. It's like he's like just he looks like
is Brie Larson that bad looking in real life?
Oh Lord, let's not get started with her. Yeah, it's just I can't watch her YouTube videos. I'll say that. I was like, I think I put it on for 5 seconds. No, I'm not watching this. It's like, oh, here we go.
If you like it, leave a comment. If not, don't say anything.
Oh Lord, her fake workout video. Yes, okay. Now he's got the bazooka.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good idea, actually. I mean, that's a.
But the problem here is, if you blow up the Ark, they're going to kill you.
I mean, to be fair, why do they need Marion? Or is this just Belloc being a jerk?
Just Belloc, you know. Okay. I mean, you're on an island with a bunch of.
Do the Germans care?
Germans.
It's like I just want to just let her go. Who cares? We have nothing to lose by losing her. It's like.
Do you think some music here to add some tension could have been helpful? Just if there had been some music here, or
I don't know. It's you know darn well that Williams probably toyed with the idea of scoring various scenes. I would imagine that like maybe I mean, I don't know. Is it? I have a question. Is it Spielberg's direction that says I want music here, 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 or does the composer decide
When,
what fits here and what doesn't fit here? I don't know. You know, it's like
when you go to the composer, it's called a spotting session. You're like, I want music here, 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 and here.
okay.
And then, of course, the composer can come back and say, well, what about here, 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 and there? And you have a discussion. But 80, the year before this, you had The Empire Strikes Back, which is pretty much wall-to-wall score. There might be 5 minutes with no music in Empire. I love Empire Strikes Back. Well, this is not wall-to-wall, but Temple of Doom, there's like 5 minutes with no music in Temple of Doom.
You know what
Last Crusade's the same way.
Star Wars has more of an epic score. This is more of an adventure film. And maybe you don't want wall to wall when it's just an adventure film. I mean, this is like the end all be all of adventure films in many respects, but I don't know that you necessarily. This is something smaller scale than Star Wars, you know. Right. I mean, I'm saying this as they're about to open up something where the wrath of heaven comes down on everybody, but it's, you know, it's.
That sound of the Ark lifting up right there was lifting the top off of a toilet tank.
Maybe they cut that scene out earlier. The guy says, "Don't look on the power of God," and I'm wondering if maybe we just want to think that Disney. I don't want to keep calling him Disney. Indy intuitively knew this is bad. Shut your eyes, because that's all you can do at that moment when you're tied up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe it's like they're seeing horrible sights that mortal man was not meant to see. And even if we die, better with our eyes closed in this instance. I don't know.
Music's getting creepy.
This whole scene is terrifying.
And it starts out so low, like at the bottom of your toes, and it just builds. And the Ark theme isn't overly complicated. I think it's written in 3 parts.
Getting flashbacks of my 5-year-old self. Okay. Marion, don't look at it. I kept trying to figure out what these are. Are these ghosts? Are they angels? Are they both? I don't know. This is just.
I think they start out as angels and then they just become really irritated.
Yes.
But the music, you feel like the notes are just floating around you. And then it changes.
Oh, this is
right about here.
Okay. Now we got now this is like Jaws territory.
The brass is playing at the highest level that it can play. It's not going to get any higher. And it just keeps hitting.
Oh. Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, in this case, that's an accurate statement. Anyway, okay.
And the Motion Picture Association had a problem with Belloc's head exploding, and they were going to rate the movie R, so they just put flames over it, and it made it okay. True story.
I can believe that. I should not have seen this as a 5-year-old. This is nightmare fuel. Okay, this is. The
corpses fly up in the flames, and then they come down.
Yeah, this is not the way you want to go. This is almost reminding me of the 10 Commandments when the ground opens up and people start getting sucked down. Remember the people in front of the golden calf? Oh, jeez. This is okay. All right. You're like, is it safe to open your eyes yet? Okay. Are they untied too?
Yeah, burned through the ropes, but not the clothes.
Yeah, they get to live to see another day. Okay.
And Marion's theme comes in. That's Peter Floyd, principal flutist of the London Symphony. I'm sorry, Peter Lloyd, not Floyd. Lloyd, Peter
Okay.
Floyd. I wonder how much they paid him.
I hope they gave him a decent amount. Maybe enough to take a few more trips across the world or something, you know? I mean, this is top men working on it right now. Yes. Who?
Who? This scene was added in after the movie was finished.
I like this scene. I like Marion.
I did too. I think
Marion.
Marion needs this, and I think
Yes.
Indiana needs it too. We need to see them be like, yeah, let's go buy a drink, because you think, oh, okay, what's going to happen next?
There's many issues I had with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm glad they do end up together in the end, you know?
I am too. I think Indiana Jones needs Marion Ravenwood.
Yeah, yes. They could always do another movie with a different actor playing an older version of the son. You know? There you go.
Bring Short Round back. I mean, is that too much to ask for?
Oh, I love Short Round. Yes, everyone loves Short Round. Short Round is an example of a kid character movie that actually is cool and doesn't annoy me. So I always like.
And he's useful too.
He's useful, yeah.
And they established a relationship together. I mean, you could tell Indiana was paternal towards him, and the relationship worked.
Now, what do you call this last one? A suite?
I would call. I mean, it's the end credits, but it's a concert suite. That's what all end credit music is.
Yeah, I mean.
One thing about the theme is, I think Sound Engraver touched on this the other night, was the perfect fifth. John Williams uses it a lot. Builds and builds and builds. Indiana Jones theme is not the perfect fifth. It builds and builds, but then it falls back down. Then it builds and builds, and it falls back down. Because the character builds and builds and falls back down because he gets his ass handed to him several times.
Yes,
I get so annoyed when Netflix doesn't play my credits.
Oh no! Did it knock you off?
I don't want to see a commercial for anything. I want my credits. But
it has a habit of doing that. Amazon does the same thing. It's watch one of my anime shows and it starts going to the next one. No, I want to see the credits, and I want to see the next the coming attraction scenes for the next episode. Don't go to the next thing. I have the DVD, so
yeah, I do too. But speaking about the end credits, it's the Raiders March, which leads into Marion's theme, which leads back into the Raiders March. And to me, the Raiders March always has Marion's theme in it, but I mean, through the films, it's not in Last Crusade and it's not in Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I can't separate the Raiders March from Marion's theme. You have to have that as the mid section to the Raiders March. Because going back to what we said, Indiana Jones, at the end of the day, he needs Marion Ravenwood. That's
true.
That's part of his character to me. I mean, she's not in the other two movies, but she's still with him in my mind. Maybe I'm just being sappy.
Maybe. And then there's Willie. You know,
it was just a transitional thing. I don't,
Well, she was before Marion. You know what would have been funny with Willie, actually, if she married a big time Hollywood director in the 40s and they have Spielberg playing him or something in the movie or something. That would be funny if they did that scene. Anyway, so you did mention how you were complaining about your little box sets there, right? And just
yes.
It's funny though because it called to mind. I remember when Professor Geek bought the Battle Angel Alita, the nice big set of that, right?
Oh yeah, I remember
And
that.
and
Yeah.
I remember before I told him if you're gonna buy it, I said do an unboxing video, okay? Because at least then you'll get the traffic and maybe get some ad money or something. You'll get your money back for it because he's opening it up. And I never had the heart to tell him this at the time. Hopefully he's not listening. Okay. I don't know what he paid for that, 200, I think, or something. And
it was serious cash. Yeah.
It had some money and it came with lithographs, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And it came with the Blu-ray and it came with a like a best of art book or something like that. And he said, wait a minute, what do you mean best of? For what I paid, I've ever had the whole art book. You know, I already said that in the video. And you know what I did? I bought just the regular Blu-ray, not the 4K Blu-ray. And I got the art booklet and I got the whole Battle Angel Alita manga Alita in hardcover at the same time because that was when we were all obsessed. Alita Army, let's spend money on this. And I did that and I got all that. And I got all that for 150. And the great news is the manga set came with these nice lithographs, which are actually bigger in size than the things he got with his Alita set. So in some ways, I think I got a better deal, but I never had the heart to tell him that that's what he should have spent his money on. But like I said, do the unboxing video, you'll get traffic. And you're buying vinyls now, right?
I am. When I started going through my house this spring because the whole world went to hell.
Yes.
I found Superman 1941 and Close Encounters in the garage, and I'm like, I don't remember ever buying these, but here they are. And I bought a record player, and then I bought another record player, and I just started buying LPs off eBay. And
yeah. And they do re-releases sometimes too. They had I have a question. The Superman 1941 you got, was that of the radio show? Or is that
1941, Superman, yeah, 1941 was
the movie 1941. Okay.
Yeah.
My
have
dad
you
actually
seen
had,
it?
Of what? 1941?
Have you seen 1941?
I have not. I know I need to. It's like one of the few Spielbergs I haven't seen. And I know that gets mixed reviews, like critics panned it at the time, or was it always they panned? They panned one.
Kind of always was panned. It's a funny movie. It's entertaining. I enjoy it. It's not serious. It's not somber. It's not going to make you think. If you just want to enjoy a movie for like 90 minutes, it's worth your time. A lot of Saturday Night Live actors. The film score by John Williams is great. It's
was
great.
Steve Martin in it?
Marches.
Yeah, I think Steve Martin. Okay. Chevy Chase?
Not John Belushi. Jim, the one that died.
Jim Belushi, right?
Jim Belushi's in it. Trent Williams. Slim Pickens. Christopher Lee's in it.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. All right, well I do have to check out 1941, but I haven't seen every Spielberg movie. I've seen a lot of them. I haven't seen American Graffiti either. That was the George Lucas. Whereas that one, I don't think. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He thought that up because he had a car accident and almost died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he used to drag race and he had an accident. Imagine that in drag racing. And he was laid up in the hospital for several weeks. And he thought up American Graffiti, and he started working on Star Wars in his head. So
cool.
Yeah, okay. John Belushi, Slim Pickens, Robert Stack, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, Ned Beatty, Tim Matheson, I can't pronounce Japanese, Christopher Lee, Warren Oates, Nancy Allen, Chet Williams, Lorraine Gray, Murray Hamilton, John Landis, lots of people.
Cool. Well, I do have to check out 1941. I'm trying to think what else. But my dad had a bunch of LPs. He had this weird Dune album that wasn't of the music from the movie. It was like anticipating what music from the movie would be like. So they had all these different tracks on it of different science fiction themes. So, but it was made to celebrate the novel Dune. I remember that. And
I actually listened to Dune the other day on YouTube, and it's like half of it's pretty good, and half of it is like, wow, this is really 80s. I'm not saying that in a good way either.
Yeah, some stuff doesn't always hold up well. My dad though, you know what he had on LP that I used to listen to all the time though was the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly soundtrack on LP. So that on vinyl record, that was neat.
But, I never got much into Ennio Morricone.
Really?
I feel like I should. I know he did over 500 films, which wrap your brain around that.
He was a very prolific scorer, and I don't know how he did it because I'm watching a lot of these Italian giallo movies, which are like horror mystery movies that they're big in Italy after the spaghetti western kind of faded, and he did scores for those, but they're completely not like your typical film score. They're not symphonic; they're more jazzy, if I have to say, or which is interesting. But yeah, they're interesting. But I'm sure you've heard other more Morricone soundtracks though. Like he did. You remember the Untouchables?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the score to that. He did the Al Capone theme. I love from that. Yeah, but and he did the scout.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, nothing. It's weird because he did the. Apparently, he did the soundtrack to The Thing, and it doesn't sound like something he made. It sounds like something John Carpenter would have composed. So that's an odd one of his. But yeah,
it's because he was probably told like make it sound like I did it.
Yeah. Well, then why don't you just score your own movie? Unless it was a studio thing. I don't know. We hired this guy to compose five movie scores. One of them is The Untouchables, and then we had these four others, and one of them was The Thing. So, well, listen, this was a great stream. Anything else to add before you? What do you think?
If you can find the Concorde set, I mean, it's. I was very like Hulk angry because of some things that were missing, but
that happens.
It's the biggest bang for the buck, and the Crystal Skull is like the exact same one that was released to normal retail. I'm like, you gave me no effort for this. None.
I have a question. Okay, so that was the last 4 discs that was released of that, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what I toyed with buying and I didn't. And I don't know. Are you thinking it's probably not worth the money they're charging for it now? Because I'm sure I think that jumped up, didn't it?
If I didn't have it, I would pay for it.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, Indiana Jones is life, and I have every John Williams film score that's been released. So, I mean, I have to have it.
Exactly.
It's like that Harry Potter set. I don't really care about Harry Potter, but I got to pay $100 because if I don't, I'm gonna regret it, and in 5 years, it's gonna be $300. So.
Yeah, that happened. Because I even more so than see. I mean, I get soundtracks sporadically, but I buy a lot of DVDs. And a while back, Criterion released this Akira Kurosawa box set, okay, on DVD, and I bought it, and I thought it was $200. Oh, that's a bit of a pricey thing you got there. And then, like years later, I mean, granted, sealed versions are worth thousands of dollars. It's worth. It's like insane what it's worth now. I don't know what mine would go for because it's been open, but it's weird what goes up and what doesn't.
Yeah, my best friend asked me. Kind of, do you have more money in firearms or CDs? And I'm like, CDs.
Wow, that's interesting because I know firearms can be kind of pricey. So that's But
I told him, I'm like, if I die tomorrow, do not just throw out my CDs, please, because don't.
See if there's you sell them or music archives take them maybe. I don't know.
I was like, and it's the things you like. Predator 2, the complete score of Predator 2. It's going for $200. I'm like, I wouldn't pay $200 for it. I think I paid $40, but someone's paying $200 for it. So, okay, if I die, at least get $175 for it.
Who even did the score to Predator 2?
Alan Silvestri did Predator and Predator 2.
Okay, all right. I have that on DVD, but it's an underrated movie, I thought. But I know some people don't like it.
It's not high cinema, but it's entertaining.
It has Bill Paxton in it, so it gives a pass.
And, sometimes I just want to be entertained. Sometimes I just want a pepperoni pizza. Yeah.
And it's not like the original Predator was this big, deep film either. I mean, it has Arnold in it, and maybe that bumped it up a notch. But I mean, I don't know how the sequel had Jake Busey. It had Danny Glover, I think, was in it too, right? As I recall.
Yeah. Yep.
Lethal Weapon. Yeah. So I mean, it had a pretty good cast. Anyway, I dig your suit you wore tonight too. If I didn't compliment you on it, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Great.
I was trying to decide what dinner jacket to wear, so I went with navy velvet. So.
Cool beans. So at some point we're gonna do Superman, right?
Next week, if you're still good with that.
Yeah, we could. Do you want to do the same time? Do you want to earlier or later, or?
Well, whatever works for you. Works for me.
All right. And okay. Well, listen, this was great. And you know how to end a stream? You hit the end button. End button there. Yep. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, who tuned in. We're doing it subsequently. And check out the Superman stream when we do it. And yeah. All right. Catch you later. And you can have
Thank you for doing this so much.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone, for coming by. Remember, adopt, don't chop. And tune in next week for Superman. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Okay.